Hello, everyone. Welcome one, welcome all, welcome back to the Forts Pro League Season 6 Finals. You heard that right. Today is the final day of Season 6, the final match where we're going to be showcasing the bronze match and the absolute pinnacle of the Forts Pro League battles. We will be deciding first, second, and third place here today, right now, or at least coming up here in a few minutes. So as we get started here, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining us so early as we're just getting started here. I'm joined here today in voice chat by 42 Scientist. Go ahead and say hello.
Greetings.
And by Romero Lagas. They will be handling our behind the scenes cat herding, as it were, making sure everyone's in the right place at the right time, as well as helping out with all of the graphics you see on scene. And once again, shout out to Anati, who are putting together most of this broadcast. As you guys see on stream at the moment, we have the streamers and the other perspectives available, so make sure to check them out if you're looking to see these same matches in the other available languages, namely French and German. And I'm looking forward to seeing these matches go. If you guys have seen this morning's video, well, you guys know that there's going to be a lot of action coming up here because it's going to be a good one. So first up, we will have the bronze match. That will be Team Haze Orb versus Team Gonna Touch You. It'll be a best of 5. Let's go ahead and jump into the match info for that one. Because, well, these are teams that have done well, filled with players that I'm particularly happy about. You know, we have Taichu and Tar of Team Hazor versus Butterdog and Ryabjik. It's gonna be a good one, I think, regardless of the outcome. Some great players on both sides, not just great players, but players that are happy to make things fun and exciting. So I am quite curious to see how this is going to go. Now, the Forts Pro League doesn't trend toward having a funny match as many of the other tournaments do. So I'm kind of expecting the players to go with something a bit more try-hard to actually compete for the third place position here. Though none of these players are particularly incapable of memeing it up, as it were. There can always be some madness involved, which is very interesting. Now, we've got a couple minutes here before we jump into the actual round. Make sure to grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and get yourselves ready, because we've got a couple hours of Forts matches coming up here, and it's gonna be amazing.
A couple is maybe a bit generous. I think with the finals being best of 7, we will have a bit of time ahead of us.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm very happy about that, because like there's just more forts for everyone. It's gonna be a good time. What is it? I was teased with Nosehead potentially arriving to say hi if the matches go long enough, and I want them to go longer, if only for that reason.
We will see how it goes.
Yes. What is it? That's one thing that's actually pretty interesting about this particular season. In previous seasons, some of the matches, like the meta was a bit faster. You know, 15 minutes would be not quite a long match, but I would reasonably expect most matches to be completed by the 15-minute mark. That is not the case right now. Right now, we've had many matches closer to an average of like 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
whereas 30 minutes is not unusual anymore. And that does kind of make for more interesting matches, at least in terms of the spectator side of things, as it results in these kind of war of attrition slogfest where it's just cannons and lasers just constantly back and forth. It does make it interesting, visually appealing to smash.
And it makes it a great show of skill as well.
That too. That too. The it gives plenty of time for the players to actually show off their capabilities. You know, we see players sitting there just waiting on a laser to blast the opponents as soon as they open their doors. We see, you know, a whole battery of cannons just blasting massive chunks of bases away. It's very effective. And it's quite satisfying. That is one thing I love about Forts. I was streaming the other day, and by the other day I mean Wednesday, and there were some newer players that were coming in and saying, "Oh, hey, you know, and Curses got into Forts because of you or whatnot," and they're asking either advice or just things that they like about the game, things that they're surprised about the game, and the quote comes up every time. Where, you know, Forts is people play Forts and they expect, you know, Angry Birds.
Yeah, they expect Angry Birds, but end up speedrunning Polybridge and then Cannon Fire, something like that.
Yes, end up speedrunning Polybridge under Cannon Fire, and it is something that is a surprise to a lot of people, but that is just kind of how Forts works. You know, it looks like this very fun, happy Angry Birds like smash experience, and it is, don't get me wrong, it's just it's that vibe over this actually difficult, this actually high skill polybridge type experience with an actual RTS underneath it. And
competitive polybridge.
Yes, competitive polybridge. And so you end up with this very satisfying visual of things crumbling down, of things getting destroyed while having actual skill expression underneath. It is just fun to watch. And the bigger the fort, the more fun there is to have. Good lord. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. The matches thus far have been amazing, especially with these players. I think, I mean, looking at the bracket, I'm pretty certain all four teams here that we have left have been the reasons why the matches have gone long. So I am expecting these matches to go longer than the average, I guess, because these are the players that are dragging the average into longer matches. All right.
That is something I was not expecting.
Did not expect, but you know what? I probably should have given Butterdog. I've done that before.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I've done that in collabs where like I join and like, who is this guy? I'm like, oh my god, I logged into a collab on stream with the wrong account. Now I'm gonna have to deal with people knowing what that account is. Like, I just want to play incognito sometimes. For those wondering, Butterdog logged into the wrong account. It's no big deal. It's just funny to see.
You just said in the thread, unexpected technical difficulties will be a few minutes before a join.
Oh, that was Cloud, not Butterdog. Okay. Wait.
I am not sure. It might still have been Butterdog.
Was that shirt? Is that Butterdog just being Butter? No, I think that is
have
actually
no
Cloud.
idea.
He's got the. Is that actually Cloud?
Oh yeah, he has the content creator thing.
Yeah,
yes.
that is actually Cloud. Okay, so
Yeah.
are we? Did Butterdog
But
give?
Butterdog
Cloud
did
permission?
send a message, so he's alive and he will be joining. But
Okay.
I don't know which accounts that was.
Oh my god. This is why we have dedicated cat herding. By the way, it's just it doesn't stop.
They always find new spots to hide in.
Yes. It's like, where are they this time? Well, they're 3 accounts away on someone else's internet line. It's like, how have you done this? It's like, you have a house. It's, it's okay. It makes
That's
it good
casually making you discover spots of your house you had never seen before.
fun. Yes.
Force pillows everywhere.
I don't even know what that. The concept of a streamer house generally is concerning to me. But I don't know, the idea of being stuck. Honestly, it's probably not that bad. I guess part of the reason why it sounds scary is because I've seen too much drama around it. But like if I've ever gone to actually, when the times to go out and actually do like streamer meetups or such, there were all a bunch of introverts that are just happy to just hide in a corner and talk about numbers and things and optimization stuff, which is kind of par for the course for anything content creator. But streamer house, that's not. People don't go to streamer houses for casual chats about how to optimize ad timings. No, they're for the chaos. And it's just like, I'm not about that life. The voice goes away when the stream goes away. Alright, so I take it, is Cloud actually streaming today? That would be cool.
I would certainly hope so.
I hadn't seen him live in a minute. But I hope he is, because that's more content for the content gods. I don't see him live on Twitch at the moment. Maybe he's on YouTube. Let me check. And you guys can get another English caster. I do not see him live at the moment. He was live yesterday, so he might go live here in a few minutes. You'll see. Either way, we are awaiting the final player for the bronze match, and then we'll jump into the action. We have a question from chat. Where is Eaton? For those who haven't followed, make sure to check out last week's Forts Pro League to determine Eaton's fate and why he is not.
2 weeks ago, actually. Since last week, he was already out.
Was it 2 weeks ago? Oh my god!
Yeah, because I think the same teams who have played last week are here. No one got out. It was just different order.
You raise a good point.
So yeah, it's 2 weeks ago.
Yes. Hey, there he is.
Skill issued.
Alright, so the players are here. Let's go ahead and check out the picks and bans for the upcoming match, as everyone is here, so we'll be going through it quickly. Spook and Hurricane are banned, so with no Spook, we won't see that one around. Spook is one of those commanders that's just like... there's no strategy that Spook... You don't pick Spook for a specific strategy, it's just a strong overall commander. Very high pick rate, high win rate. Hard to go wrong with Spook. Hurricane, a little surprised to see banned. Typically, I mean, Hurricane's another one of these generic commanders. General purpose. But it looks like we'll be starting out on Stalactites 2v2. But with Spook and Hurricane banned, I'm expecting we're going to see a lot of Overdrive and Architect and Armadillo. Potentially mirror matches.
Phantom.
Phantom.
Yes, please.
We did see, you know, the Phantom play, I liked it. It was good. I didn't expect it. Which, let me rephrase. I didn't expect them
it either.
to use. Yeah, no one expected that. You know, typically as the spectator, I can have some idea what's going to happen when Phantom gets dropped. No, not even I predicted that. That was not. Which is welcome to Phantom. It's wild. All right. It looks like the match is made. The players are readying up. So I hope you guys are excited because we're jumping into the action here in just a moment. Let's get this party started. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're off to round 1 in the bronze match here in Season 6 of the Forts Pro League. On the final day, let's do this. It's Team Hazorb versus Team Gonna Touch You. Where here we have on the left-hand side, it's Team Hazorb in the blue forts. They're playing as the Scattershot commander. I love to see it. Where they're facing off against their opponents on the right-hand side in the red, it's Team Gonna Touch You. Playing as the Armadillo commander. So a Scattershot on Stalactites. I'm a little surprised to see Scattershot on Stalactites. I remember a match, was it last season, where Scattershot on Stalactites worked really well. I think it just caught the opponents, if I recall correctly, it just caught the opponents off guard. They just weren't ready to get blasted by 20s that early. But that was not a... It didn't feel like a, oh, you got outplayed. It was a just, you weren't paying attention to Reabjik. He's fine. Just deforming his own fort here. Lord have mercy. The so I'm curious to see how this iteration is going to play out. Like, are they still going howitzer, and is Tar still going howitzer in the top fort? Well, we won't know until later. Both of these commanders want to go for a later gameplay, whereas Scattershot is not really the attrition super late game commander. It just wants to go 20 mils as standard, like heavy weapon style, not even rush, just heavy weapon style build order, and then slap with a whole bunch of damage. Armadillo is particularly effective at defending, so they'll be happy to let Hazorb fire first, and then go for lasers to counterplay them. It is worth noting that 20 millimeters are particularly vulnerable to laser fire and door snipes in general. So, also I need to shout out, Rabjik is just, that man is just constantly refiring. Like he's not selecting the sniper, he's just refiring constantly. Like he's just waving his mouse over that and pressing the refire button, or just tab refire spam with that sniper. It's not really doing anything. It's pure psychological damage. Now he's actually aiming, and he used it to take out the EMP because sniper anti-air is the best kind of anti-air. He did it again. Now that's real psychological damage. It's one thing to just keep plinking away at your opponent with a sniper. It's another. Okay. The bait. Did you guys see that? That a lot of little things happened very quickly right there. First, Tar opened and closed his EMP door, triggering Ryabjik to open his sniper door and snipe at the EMP. But the moment Ryabjik opened his sniper door, Tar opened his own sniper door and blasted Ryabjik's sniper out of existence. And then sold off his own EMP. Like, the little details in that sniper duel right there, that's what makes Forge just wild.
Looks like Tar will be going for a 20 mil in the howitzer spot.
Yes, he is. Okay. So it is just pure 20 mils for... It is pure 20 mils for Team Hazor. Oh, I guess Taichu's going lasers, but... 20 mils in the howitzer spot. Alright, well, I mean, if it works, it works. We'll see how it goes. It's worth noting that everyone's gone upgrade center, so we are seeing large ecos across the board. I am kind of surprised to see Taichi going lasers here. Like, if you're gonna go scatter shot, like, just double down on that thing. It's like, what are the enemy gonna do? Get energy shields? Like, that's lasers aren't gonna help you with that. So I'm a little surprised to see Taichi going laser fire here, but it's always a strong strat to go mixed tech types with lasers and cannons. Tar only has a single 20 mil at the 5. Okay, there's the second one going down, but still only a single 20 mil at the 5-minute mark. That's not much.
I think Ryabzik might be a little vulnerable to those buzzsaws if they come from below.
Yeah, I mean, both players. I guess most players, but Rabjik and Butterdog especially. It's buzzsaws in general are quite powerful. I think Rabjik's going with the sandbag solution to dealing with buzzsaws. Like, he saw the buzzsaws hit him and then just put sandbags in and didn't bother with metal, which is, you know what, fair enough. It's worth noting that Ryabjik is getting a shotgun in the position to deal with howitzers. Howitzers don't exist, so the shotgun will not be useful. He's getting 2 shotguns, actually, I should say. So that shotgun investment will not be helping Ryabjik here, as it is all 20 mils all day. But only 2 of them, which is just not much firepower. Like, Tar really wants to get a 3rd one online. Here's the thing, once he reveals that it's 20 millimeters and not howitzers, that's gonna change the efficiency of the opponents. Because, like, Team Gonna Touch You can realize, oh, wait a minute, I don't need howitzer defense anymore. I need to defend against 20 millimeters, and that is a bit different.
It's worth noting that since they have shot some buzzsaws and they got more projectiles, they should know that it is a scatter shot coming.
Yes. They should, but I don't think they do. At least right until now. As you see the immediate reaction to the scattershot active, the shotguns are instantly sold off, and now it's being replaced with defenses more appropriate for 20 mils. So yeah, they definitely didn't recognize that it was scattershot, right up until they got blasted by the empowered 20 mils. Now, unfortunately for Team Hazorb, it was only 2 20 mils. Taichu has none, and Tar only had 2. So there wasn't a whole lot of damage to deal. In fact, there's very little damage to deal, like inconsequential damage to deal. But the match is still young. So, when it comes to progress here, I do actually think, I strongly suspect that Team Gunatachi's at the advantage here. And that's why. Hazorb with the 20 millimeters just, they needed immediate damage to put Team Gunatachi behind, and they didn't do that. So now it's going to turn into the attritional war, and I don't see Team Hazorb coming out on top. Like, 20 millimeters are just too easy to door snipe. And Team Gunatachi is going heavy into the door snipe option. I think it's going to end up with Team Hazorb getting blasted back to... Oh my god.
Never mind.
Really? Is that how this is going to go? Holy smokes. Off the back of a single door snipe, Rabjik loses everything. Everything except his core. It's oh my god, it's so close to collapsing. It's still so close to collapsing. Just the 20 millimeter penetrating the armor, going straight to Rabjik's foundations. Oof, targeting door sniped but didn't lose his 20 millimeter. Almost lost his core off of that door snipe, which is even worse. God, Ryabjik is so close to falling here. The snipers from Team Gunatachi have been ridiculous. I'm gonna go ahead and say the snipers from both teams at this point have been ridiculous, but the relentless pressure from Butterdog and Ryabjik snipers has been trauma-inducing. Oh, it's so close to going down, but it does not. God, the sniping. Whoa. Yep, Tar getting door sniped by snipers. I will say this. Butterdog is doing a great job with the snipers. Twice now he's actually hit heavy weapons through their firing sequence with the regular snipers. He actually eliminates one of Tar's 20 mils with it and just damages Taichu's own plasma. Like, that's... The double sniper is working very well for him. Rabjik now relying on total energy shield coverage just to tank a few more shots. Oof. Tar getting picked apart here by snipers and laser fire. Somehow it feels like Hazorb isn't the aggressor here. Despite, you know, Rabjik falling apart at the seams. So as I was saying, before Ryabjik was bisected, I was crediting Team Gunatachi with being at the advantage because they have a later game plan and Team Hazorb just failed to break Team Gunatachi before giving them an opportunity, before Gunatachi just kind of stabilizes and outscales. When I've seen this strategy work with Scattershot, it involved doing enough damage early on that their opponents were quite literally eliminated by losing a core, before they had an opportunity to really do anything. And we almost saw that here, to be clear. Ryabjik was almost shredded, but that was off the back of a door snipe. I don't really want to call it a lucky door snipe, but off the back of a door snipe which is inconsistent, especially given it was the secondary explosions beyond that door snipe which did the real damage. But that was the kind of damage Hazorb needed to do in order to remain competitive in this match, or at least in this round. And they got it done, but honestly, it may not be enough. Like, they still need more. They need more damage to dealt, and they're struggling for it. Like, you see, Ryabjik here is stabilized. He's defended against the 20 mils and the lasers. His eco's online. He's, you know, slow. He's behind. He's not going to be a meaningful threat for many minutes to come. But what he isn't is he isn't eliminated. And now Team Hazorb has to focus all their fire onto Butterdog in an attempt to get at least some elimination, or they may find themselves still outscaled here. Sure, Team Gonna Touch You has been knocked down a few pegs, but a few pegs doesn't mean much if the round goes another 20 minutes.
Oh wow.
Oh. Oh.
This could have
That
been
energy
devastating.
shield placement. The reflection from behind. Butterdog needs to do something about that energy shield. You see, yeah, that's not... There's multiple energy shields which can reflect upward toward Ryabjik. That's not good. As here comes the damage. Tar developing a howitzer now. I like the howitzer development. I very much so like the howitzer development. The nukes are online. Team Hazorb was aware the nukes were happening, and they had some anti-air on the board. They shut down one of the nukes, the other one made it across. Mostly off the back of Butterdog having enough fire beams to clear the anti-air out of the sky. We're seeing anti-air and map control tools being developed for both sides now, as suddenly EMPs and nukes demand it. You know, it's at the 15-minute mark and Team Gonna Touch You hasn't properly stabilized, so credit where it's due. Hazorb has done some great pressure here. There we go. Lots of anti-air, lots of defenses from Team Hazorb. Those nukes get shut all the way down. Ryabjik's still using the sniper as anti-air. Do it. Ah, he missed. He tried.
He has no fear.
Howitzer flies. Unfortunately for Tar, the howitzer doesn't manage to hit the energy shields, and so the energy shields will successfully defend against the 20 mils. Oh. Honestly, Ryabjik's defenses are starting to work against him here. How are you still alive? Oh, it crunches a bit, but
Everything
he
is
holds on.
blinking.
Yes. Ryabjik is just team tank. His whole purpose in life right now is just die slowly. Let Butterdog do work.
And he's doing so good at it.
He is. Holy smokes. Like, Butterdog is getting door snipes. Ryabjik is not dying. And Tar is just laying into him. Alright. Okay. So, clearly Team Hazorb has a significant advantage. both in firepower and I guess that's really the advantage here. It's the firepower advantage. Both teams have solid eco. There's not a real major advantage on for economy. It's just there's so much firepower for Team Hazorb. Butterdog lacks the plasma beams that of Taichu's caliber. And because of that, Butterdog just doesn't have the guaranteed damage output that Taichu possesses. And at some point, Taichu's gonna get enough plasmas to burn through any amount of defenses that Butterdog can set up, beyond energy shields. In a strange twist, I believe it is actually the Armadillo players that are on a timer here. Taichu has to do something to stop the unbridled growth and scaling that Team Hazorb has been performing. Like, there's just nothing slowing them down, and Hazorb is free to keep Team Taichu just completely locked down and deep in the death spiral. It is worth noting that Ryabjik, despite all of this, hasn't been pressured so hard as to prevent him from making progress. He's building a plasma beam. He's actually about halfway done with it right now. Which is, the joy and strength of Armadillo. That's why Armadillo is so strong. Or at least so popular. Because you can take this kind of damage and then just still have enough energy, enough money left over to expand your weaponry. God, just chopping through background bracing. Butterdog base deforms and loses some storages, but nothing that's going to cost him the game here. Oh, howitzer.
Tara's basically got a fort entirely made out of metal at this point without anything else to spend it on.
Yeah, Tar's in a rough position here. He needs more damage output, but he doesn't really have the ability to get more damage output. He would have to dramatically reconstruct major components of his base for him to get it. Taichu gets hit. Butterdog lands a shot. And now here comes the focus fire. Butterdog, the main target. God, Ryabjik is just moments from collapse. Did you just shoot yourself? You just shot yourself. You did. Okay. All right. If you're
no damage, so funny.
Yeah. All right. It looks like Tar found another place to jam a 20mm into, and I think he needs to find one more place beyond that. Oh, that's devastating. The energy shield reflection from behind. Butterdog builds another poorly placed energy shield. It costs Ryabjik his energy production and his technology. It actually sets Ryabjik into the negative. He has negative energy production right now. That's death spiral territory here. If he doesn't get a turbine down right now, which he fails to do... No, he still has... No, he fails to get a turbine down. I don't think he noticed he doesn't have enough energy production. His energy shields are going to shut down. He has nothing. He cannot build. He's out of money. He's selling his mines just to make up for it. That's where the death spiral really kicks in. Ryabjik doesn't have the money to afford minerals. Uh-oh.
Yeah, they don't.
His doors got EMP'd open. I think Taichu doesn't know about that, so it's not a big deal. Well, he loses a 20mm to a door snipe. You'll love to see it. And Ryabjik loses his plasma. Well, now Ryabjik is something like 8 minutes away from getting another plasma. That's assuming he's not... That's assuming he's not under fire. And he's under a lot of fire. So... Oh, is that it? This might be it. Any follow-up? Oh no.
Death by EMP.
Knock that off your bingo card. Death by EMP. As the EMPs splash across the entire fronts of everyone's fort, eliminating Rabjik and shutting down Butterdog's everything. Good God. No! Butterdog with another door snipe. Look at this. Taichu loses another plasma. Every time. It's like, I've said it so many times. As long as there is a single plasma on the side, they have hope. They have hope for door snipes. Hope for massive damage. But I don't think Butterdog can have an opportunity to use the plasma again. Between the EMPs and just obscene amounts of firepower incoming, it's a lot. It really is a lot. And away he goes. He escapes. Good lord, it's wild. Off the back of some crazy... Look at the damage difference here. Off the back of some crazy damage output, Team Hazorb finally beats their opponents into submission. That was a wild one.
Gotta shout out Tar's mind games too with his doors.
Yeah, you know, that actually that kicked it off at the start. Just breaking Ryabjik's just hyperactive aggression. Punishing.
I loved doing that when I used to play. I used to even have like a door inside my
You
fort
literally
that would-
participated in this season's Forts Pro League.
I know.
What are you
but
on
like-
about?
No, but like way before when I wasn't washed up like I am right now. But I used to have like inside doors that you would just open randomly to throw at the opponent. That is so funny.
Good God. Death by EMP. You know, that is on the bingo card, just as like a long shot or something like this never happens. But it can happen. It's like it's happened twice. The unempowered 20mm looks so impotent compared to everything. Beautiful.
If you're Hazorb right now, how are you feeling? Because you got the win, but it got a lot more complicated than it probably looked after that door snipe.
Yes. Yes. Probably amazing. Exhausted. Okay, so it's round one. I don't think exhaustion's kicking in yet, but that one definitely feels good. That's a finally. We spent so long bashing you into submission. It took us 30 minutes to bash you into submission after all this time. That's like relieving. Is the word I really use. It's like cathartic. That's what I think it feels like.
Hopefully they're not watching the replay right now and looking at, Butterdog's base the moment that door snipe happened and how little armor or shields he had.
Oh my god. Every time. The riskiness for the teams has been, I mean, at some point when you're getting beaten, when you're that deep in the death spell, you have to take some risk and try to get out, to get some momentum. It's like, okay, well, this particular spot will remain undefended, and if if it gets hit, I lose. But I'm going to lose if I don't take the risk anyway, so...
And while this is the bronze match, it is worth noting that there is $100 on the line here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, it looks like we will be good to go here. The players are ready. The match is made. We're off to round 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this started. On Caverns 2v2. Let's do this. And it on the list of memes I would have expected to see, Go is not among them. What's funny is when someone uses the actual gamma. It's like, wait a minute. How have we done this?
The relic keyboard. Let's go.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the sides have been swapped. Here on the left-hand side, it is Team Gonna Touch You. Rebjik and Butterdog playing as the Seep Commander. They will be playing against their opponents here in round 2, trying to claim their first point. They'll be facing against Hazor, Tar, and Taichu. Winning last round in spectacular fashion, Hazorb is now playing as the Architect Commander. So this is an interesting matchup, at least commander choice. Tar already winning the sniper duel against Ribjik. Love to see it. So Team Gonna Touch You is playing as the Seep Commander. This is the Missile Commander. And it looks like they'll be going with the Portal Nuke strat. Big shock. Team Hazorb will not know this yet, but they're against Portal Nukes. And I assume it's going to be the flavor that we've seen throughout, the meta flavor, where it's this kind of 9-minute nuclear launch. But Team Hazorb is playing as the Architect Commander. And the Architect Commander has a very unique and it has an extra defense option against nukes specifically. That is, the wooden structure has a bonus build speed, so it can solidify and become corporeal reactively. As in, Seep launches their missiles, you can react to the missile launch by building wood and have it solidify before the nuke makes it across the board. This is something unavailable to every other commander. This means that Team Hazorb can defend against nukes by putting nuke catchers in front of their fort reactively. This is potentially incredibly effective. It's just incredibly cost effective and risk-free, which is I shouldn't say risk-free, because if you mess it up,
assuming the buzzsaws also.
Yeah, and assuming things like buzzsaws don't chop it like that. It's just an unusually consistent method of getting anti-nuke defenses on the board, and it makes a level of efficiency in the defense that is unavailable to every other commander. Now, of course, if Butterdog goes quad nuke, which is just on the table as an option, then nuke catchers aren't going to be enough to save anyone from the raw firepower, but that's what we're dealing with here. It is actually one of my more favored defense tactics against the missiles, to just play as Architect. Like if I'm against someone who I know likes to play missiles, like I'll just go Architect and shut that down.
That is a super good burst so high as well.
Yeah, Rebjik getting a bit greedy, I guess is the word. He didn't defend his turbines at all and lost several of them. and is now getting blasted by a shotgun. That'll set him back a little bit. That's not just emotional damage, although emotional damage is involved.
Also, for your FYI, I have... Wow!
Oh! 20% remaining. Butterdog down, just lost 80% to a shotgun. Oh my god. That solidified just in time. Butterdog down to 20% core HP. Now that's some real psychological damage right there.
I was not ready for this.
No one is ready for that.
So, yeah,
I say
on
that's psychic damage, but that is actual real damage. Like it's one thing.
It's more,
Like okay,
more than emotional damage at this point.
yes, okay. So I go a little tangent here. Pardon the interruption here.
Go
I'll
ahead.
come back to you in a minute. It is one thing to take core damage. You know, cores. It does. The only percent that matters is the last percent. It really doesn't matter that much if you take core damage. The only concern is that there is a threshold where you can no longer sacrifice core HP. At some point, especially when dealing with splash damage, you can just kind of be super skimpy with the defenses because you don't need to have super thick defenses when you have core HP. Because the splash damage will just kind of splash the core for, like 1 or 2%. And you don't have to worry about it. You can spend your money elsewhere because 1 or 2% doesn't matter when you have 100%. But there's a threshold somewhere where you can't keep taking that splash damage. And I'm going to go ahead and say that being at 20% is past that threshold. So Butterdog now has to build these massive, thick, girthy wood spam defenses. And he doesn't have another option there because if he doesn't, he just dies to incidental damage.
I mean, that was one pellet away.
Yes. That was literally one shotgun pellet away from defeat there. But anyways, that's what I wanted to explain here because that is going to shape how Butterdog plays for the rest of the match.
Especially
as you were
with
saying.
our having now a cannon.
Yes. A cannon specifically oriented to hit Butterdog and only Butterdog.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be taking a lot of firepower here. It does not have the core HP to sustain it. Oh my god.
Turbine defense. Ooh.
He gets it with the sandbag. Butterdog recognized. So Tar has been doing this, and I think it's getting him in trouble. It got him in a bit of trouble last time too, where he just leaves his ceiling open because who builds a cannon just exposed on top of your base that can only shoot the upper player? Tar does, and he has consistently for the past 3 rounds. So I think Butterdog is just like, oh, you just opened the top of your fort. I can't possibly imagine what you put in there, and nearly snipes out Tar's cannon with a double sniper. And it's gone. So Butterdog was the team's primary DPS. Team Good at Touch You was Reabjik was playing support. So now you have a support player with no DPS. He's gonna get pummeled. It's worth noting that Hazorb doesn't have any real DPS that can attack Reabjik right now. Like Tar's cannon specifically oriented to deal with Butterdog and only Butterdog. Taichu is not really going hard DPS here. Tar's the main DPS. I mean, they're kind of both. They're just kind of splitting it 50-50, but Tar is really the one that was doing most of the work there, despite Taichu getting the killing blow. I like what they've done here with the Magna Beam. Oh no. Reabjik just lost. He just lost his plasma. Like, there were things he could do. He had plasmas. He could fire back. He could get door snipes. He could eliminate something, but now he's just getting blasted. Anyways, as I was saying, Taichu has a Magna Beam, which means that these cannons can give him the old reach around and come smash him on high. See if they get the shot. Do it. Oh! He gets a core hit. Knock him down to 44%. Tar ran out of energy. Couldn't get the second cannon in time before the Magna Beam expired. Oh, Lord have mercy. Because Team Hazorb is not this. This was... I'm gonna need a slow mode replay on that laser shot because that was...
Yeah, we'll need a lot of good replays on this one.
That was intense. Like, we may have to go into the actual replay and see that shot because that just went clean through Butterdog's defenses and just finished off his core. And to be clear, his injured core didn't matter this time. That was a clean burn directly to the core with the plasma beam. He could have been at 100% and the plasma would have killed him. So, the shotgun earlier doing the damage didn't end up mattering. But, man, is that a rough way to go.
Still.
Yes. Very. Alright, here comes another wraparound shot. Tar has the energy this time. They're just waiting for the call to strike. You can do it? Are we...
Not going for it right now, looks like.
He's not going for it right now. He selected it for a moment. Yeah, okay. He's just penning with raw firepower. Double cannon plasma finishes it off. I'm telling you, cannons and plasma beams, just mixed heavy weapons, works very well. The buzzsaw's chopping through. Look at that. Fire beam, plasma beam, straight to the core. Just overpens the entire base. Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was clean. Buzzsaw opened, fire beam softened, plasma beam sliced. Standard, pretty common combo, does great work. Very, very well done. Team Hazorb wins round 2 in this best of 5. You'll love to see it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We're off. We're getting ready here for round 3. The players are ready. The match is made. I hope you guys are ready, because things are about to kick off here. Now, this is a best of 5, which means Hazorb is on match point. If Hazorb wins this round, they win 3rd place and grab the 3rd place prize. If Team Gonna Touch You wins it, they carry on. They have a chance to come back in this match. It is going to have to be a full reverse sweep if Team Gonna Touch You is going to come back for this. Oh, looks like we got to restart the match. Give us a moment here. False start. There it is. Team Hazorb on the left-hand side, facing against Team Gonna Touch You on the right. Oh my. Things are going to kick off a little bit faster here, as we have Hazorb is playing as the Firebird commander, so we can see some variant aggression here, all of it hot, all of it spicy. Whereas on the right hand side, Team Gonna Touch You is playing as the Pinch Fist commander. Are they not revealing that they're Pinch Fist? Is that what's happening here? I think that counts. That might count as a pinch fist reveal. I don't know if that counts as a pinch fist reveal. I think that counts as a pinch fist reveal. Okay. My main question here is, will Hazorb... What strategy will Hazorb go for here? I will say Firebird tends to perform quite well against Pinch Fist generally, just because Pinch Fist is super vulnerable before the heavy weapons rush timing. And, well, Firebird performs particularly well during that phase, relatively to other commanders. We don't often see that kind of aggression outside of a 1v1, but it can happen. And it does periodically happen. Interesting. Butterdog go on mortar fire as Pinch Fist. This is something we've seen Butterdog do before, or I guess Team Gonna Touch You generally, where they go Pinch Fist and then early aggro.
He's seeing the threat already.
Oh yeah, no, this is revealed. Like, this isn't a sneaky thing. They're just gonna punch him in the face, or I guess give him a sucker punch with the incendiary mortars from on high. So there's already machine gunners on the board to defend against it. I don't know how I feel about this kind of play from Gonna Touch You. It hasn't worked out well for them in their previous attempts at doing it. Like, the last couple times they've done this, one time it failed miserably. The other time it just kind of sort of broke even. So their strategy for this was to open mortars and then keep it on. They stayed incendiary until they got fire beams, and then used fire beams to land incendiary mortars and then upgrade their mortars. And everything about that felt wrong to me. But there's a slight difference here. They're getting one. Oh no, it's just building another incendiary. I was like, oh, is that an upgrade? No, it's building another incendiary. So I don't. Okay, so we are upgrading the mortars now. I like to see that. That's at least something. Targeting his own mortars. We're gonna have some mortar on mortar violence. I'm into it. Generally speaking, when I see mortars like this, it is either needs to be like an all-in early rush to just try to pressure your opponent out of the game, which is not happening, or it's kind of a mortar timing attack, where you don't reveal that you're going mortars and then just at a approximately cannon o'clock timing, you just slam the guy with 6 mortars. Because it does it's game-ending damage potential with the real ability to.
Those were some last-second sendbacks.
Yeah, they really were. But you know what? It worked. It kept him alive, and that's the important part. So now I'm expecting Butterdog to kind of kick back on the aggression here, go up to fire beams, and then try to use the mortars as the primary damage output with fire beam coverage. We might see Ryabjik perform the fire beam role for the mortar play. That is likely to be the case. It looks like Ryabjik is actually preparing to do that exactly. Ryabjik is also getting blasted by the mortars themselves. Not ideal at all.
Lost a fire beam.
Yes, he did, and he might just lose a plasma here too. He does. And here come the incendiary heavy mortars because Firebird. Looks like Butterdog is preparing to launch his own volleys of mortars once again. But yeah, Reabject has lost all of his weaponry, every single one of them. There's no fire beam to prevent the machine gunners from taking out those mortars. I gotta touch you just getting schooled here. Like, this isn't a commander difference, this is just a skill diff. Getting a skill difference. Tar coming in with well-aimed and perfectly timed mortars. Gonna touch you just wasn't prepared. This is... So, Tar only had 4 mortars. But this is what I was talking about when I was talking about the mortar timing. Like, you don't... He didn't go heavy weapons. He just went mortars and slammed Rabjik with 4 mortars at a standard cannon o'clock timing. Rabjik wasn't ready for it and took far too much damage. And then just... That's it. He just lost all his weapons. He just took it. And that's the end of it. And now Tar has an advantage here. He can kind of do whatever he wants. And whatever he wants includes, well, slamming Butterdog with more mortars. This whole time, Taichi's building up his own weaponry. While, you know, Butterdog counter-snipes Taichi's fire beams, which has been the story of that relationship for the past 3 rounds. I think we are actually going to see the game stabilize here. As much as Gotta Touch You has definitely taken the worst end of this engagement of these trades. I think Team Hazorb doesn't have enough consistent damage to meaningfully pressure Gonna Touch You. At least,
yeah, they need to step
enough
up
to prevent them. Yeah, it's not enough to stop their opponents from progressing, and Team Hazorb just has very little pressure on them generally right now, so they can do basically whatever they want. Whatever they want involves, at the moment, getting more laser beams. For both players. God. The sniping. Here come the incendiary mortars again. Incendiary heavy mortars, I should say. I would like to see more machine gun fire during the commander active ability for Hazorb. They've done a couple spurts of fire, as it were. Getting a little bit of ignition here or there. But I would like to see more. Truly suppress your opponents.
No shock that Incursus would like to see everything on fire.
Who could have seen that one coming? Oh, well-paid machine gunner. I think at this point, Taichu's just kind of afraid to use his lasers. Because he's just not using them. It's like every time I use these lasers, something... Okay, well, that is some beautifully coalesced beams. Oh, again? Again! That's the second time Rubjik has lost his everything to putting a plasma beam on his foundation nodes. He puts it there, it gets either door sniped or in this case just clean penned because Taichu built up 4 laser beams. And it just loses everything. This is the consequence of putting your laser beams inside your defensive positions. Or your heavy weapons in general. You sacrifice armor on your critical point. It makes the critical point more vulnerable and also explosive. So when something goes wrong, something goes very wrong. Machine gunners from on high. There's so many. So many machine gunners, so many mortars. Makes me happy. Now here's the thing. Without Butterdog not having any laser beams anymore, means that, or at least with his teammate gone and no laser coverage, Butterdog's mortars have effectively zero chance whatsoever of making it across the field. So I'm not expecting any real damage being done there. Butterdog is just ruining Taichu and his laser beams. Just consistent. That's just emotional damage right there. It's more than emotional damage, but that's just exhausting to have to deal with. Like, every time it's exhausting. The minigunners are doing actual work. They're only really breaking the turbines, but they're consistently breaking the turbines, and those are important.
Those
Two
fire
more
beams,
fire
nice.
beams lost. Butterdog's snipers have done more damage than I think any other weapon on their team this game. Alright, and there we have it.
Yeah.
Concede. They know they've been beaten as Team Hazorb wins 3-0 in a clean sweep. They take third place in Fort's Season 6. Well played. Look at that damage, man. So many beams in one spot. Poor object. I mean, you just can't, it's just too much. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Hazorb wins it in a clean sweep. I wasn't expecting a clean sweep. The clean sweep was, you know, a thing. It happens sometimes. But very well played for everyone involved. The matches themselves were not one-sided, which is nice. We had good matches in it. So now we're going to be moving on to the finals match, Team Gold versus Row 1. And the players are here. So let's go ahead and jump into the picks and bans. Julian and Nils of Team Gold, facing off against Clow and Benson of Team Row 1. The commander bans will be Pinch Fist and Firebird. Oh wow. That wasn't planned. Pinch Fist and Firebird, the two commanders used in the previous match for the the final round of the bronze match, are perma-banned in this best of 7 series. This upcoming best of 7 series, so they will not be available. It is strange to me seeing Firebird banned. Like, I know Firebird's annoying, but it's such a rarely picked commander. I guess when you have a best of 7, the chances of the more niche commanders being used are a bit higher. So if you really don't want to have to deal with the psychological strain of dealing with Firebird, then sure. But I would think Phantom would be a I would think Phantom would be the sooner pick to ban than Firebird, unless you want to be the dirty, filthy Phantom user. Does this mean we're gonna see Phantom at like round 4 or something? Because Phantom isn't banned and they banned Firebird instead. Is that what's happening here? Oh dear. Either way, we're gonna be starting out on Stalactites 2v2. And it looks like we're about ready to go here, so I hope you guys are. If you guys want to grab a snack, grab a drink, now is your opportunity, because we are close to starting here. The players are ready. The match is made. I'm excited for this. We are off to the finals. The Forts Pro League. All this time, all these weeks.
After all these years, it is finally
After
here.
all these years, it is finally here, and well, it's good. It's very good. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and you know what? It has been worth it. As ladies and gentlemen, we are off to round 1 in the finals of the Forts Pro League. Where here we have on the left side, it is Team Gold. Facing off against their opponents on the right, it is Team Row. We're kicking things off here with what I expect to be a long match. Team Gold, Nils and Julian, are playing as the Armadillo Commander. They're facing off against the Hurricane Commander. Hurricane Commander is a bit more aggressive than the Armadillo Commander, which isn't saying much because Armadillo is like the least aggressive commander possible. Now, when it comes to both of these teams, we've mentioned it we mentioned it before, but these teams are quite capable and happy to go long. So I do kind of expect, you know, more 30-minute matches, just like the first match in the Bronze League, in the Bronze match. It is worth noting that Hurricane Commander gets passive build speed bonuses to everything, just like a global build speed bonus. So you do realistically expect them to be a bit faster than Team Gold in terms of progress. Progress through everything. Clow. You typically want to do that before you add in all the extra weight and tech. Okay, that is anxiety inducing.
Just
It's
some
fine.
extra front lean action.
Little extra front lean action. Yes, that's the... Well,
Yeah.
solid hit.
87 is above the threshold. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. That's just purely emotional damage. Especially because it killed the sniper. You know, everyone loves their snipers.
Oh yeah, I wanted to mention before I was rudely interrupted by a shotgun shot last time. I have added the emotional damage values on the spreadsheet.
Oh my god. Of course.
It turns out that the core itself in the game files has a repair value, so I could still figure out the emotional damage for this, and it's very high. as expected. Like, according to the game files, one sniper shot is worth like 200 metal on the core.
Jesus Christ. Okay. You know what? I think that's about right.
That's
I
think
think that is about. I think that is actually about right. I can get behind that.
Coincidentally, the cost of one buzzsaw.
200
right.
metal.
Yeah, the only thing that comes close is on a plasma shot, like on plasma, on a sniper shot. It's like 170 metal to repair.
You know, honestly, that may not have been intentional, but I think that's about as accurate as it can get. Like I can get behind that actually. I'd have put that right there. That is a funny coincidence. Well, as this match proceeds, I'm looking for things that are extraordinary, things that are outside the normal. I'm not expecting anything outside the normal here. I'm expecting both of these teams and players to be playing very meta, very standard, and that's kind of what's exactly what we're getting here. Especially on Team Rose side, where we're seeing double howitzer in the double howitzer spot, and lasers from the lower fort. On this side, we are seeing lasers for both teams, for both players, which is unusual. We would normally expect to see cannons of some variety in the top fort, especially howitzers, just because they're that good. Well, specifically on this map, they are that good. The EMP in the howitzer spot is also fairly normal because, you know, it gets sold off before the howitzer gets placed. The biggest comment I have regarding the build orders here is that Nils specifically is a little behind in his heavy weapons placement. He is instead focusing on pure defense. Looks like he's getting shotguns up to defend against the howitzers, but he didn't have them up in time as he just tanked a howitzer to the face. Cloud going with the reveal that he is in fact building howitzers. Which is not a surprise. Everyone saw that coming. So it's no big reveal. He's just blasting while he can. I assume intending to try to suppress any shotguns and such before the double howitzer becomes available. Realistically, the single howitzer will not deal significant damage. It needs something else. It needs a follow-up of some kind. Last season meta was to use a standard cannon to follow up. This season, people were going with a second howitzer to follow up. I'm partial to the cannon follow up myself, but it's hard to deny the strength of a howitzer following up a howitzer. That EMP was perfect, and Nils is immediately eliminated on the first double howitzer shell, which is expected. That's how that goes. That is the standard, everything going perfectly according to plan for Team Row, and Gold suffering the consequences of insufficiently preparing for the meta play. And now it is Julian's turn to tank the howitzers. Cloud just needs to build up enough energy to double howitzers once again. And then Julian will be in a rough spot. To be clear, he's already in a rough spot, but there's a difference between being in a rough spot and being eliminated.
Well, maybe this match will not be 30 minutes long.
Yeah, no. Maybe not. Honestly, I'm surprised that Nil was eliminated by the double howitzer. It is like the meta play. Yes, it is like the strongest play, but it's also expected and fully defensible. So I kind of really expected, you know, Nils to be a little bit more on top of it.
It is the least surprising play you can expect.
Yes, it is. It is just kind
at
of.
This point.
It's the thing you expect to do. You can blind counter it and be successful more often than not. Way more often than not. And yet, it still works. Honestly, I think it was because Team Row was Hurricane and went for a actual cannon to clock timing. Like, this was a howitzer rush, not really just a standard build. It hit moments before Nil's shotguns came online. And yeah, Nil's shotguns were late, but under most builds, it would, even that lateness would have given him time to have these shotguns online. It was the specific combination of Cloud going with a greedier howitzer rush and Nil's delay on the shotguns that gave a window of opportunity for the
it
double
definitely
howitzer.
came down to the wire.
Yes. Yeah, it was seconds to the point where the EMP, that one EMP was the difference in timing. And now core is exposed. Well, not really exposed. It still has a single. It still has a single energy. Oh, he sells off the energy shield. Okay, he's letting it happen.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah,
He knows. And there you have it. Team Row wins it. Round 1 off of honestly a clean. That was as ideal and as effective of a strategy that it could have gone for.
Yeah, very good execution.
Yes, it's just, hey, I'm gonna play meta, I'm gonna play standard, I'm just gonna hit you in the face, and it worked. Well played. I'm actually impressed that the howitzer didn't destroy the energy shield there. All right. All right. That was a surprisingly quick round 1. I was expecting that to go a bit longer. I'm expecting a bit more back and forth, but you know, they landed their shots and everything aligned, and they won. That's it. Team Row 1 just claimed victory. So now we're getting set up for round 2 here. And we're off. Round 2, Team Gold versus Row 1. Hold up.
Desync.
Desync.
That was only you, looks like.
Yes. Be rejoining here in a moment.
Okay. All good.
Alright, we're all good. Looks like it didn't affect the players, just a spectator cam, so nothing that need be... Nothing
Yeah,
that need
everything
be
looks good on my end,
adjusted.
so I think
Yes.
we're fine.
The connection to Germany, despite all these Germans in the lobby. The host is German, the players are German, the spectators are German, and still, German internet strikes again. But we're off to round 2 here in the grand finals. Here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Row winning flawlessly their first matchup against Gold. They're currently playing as the Architect Commander against their opponents on the right-hand side in the red fort. It is Team Gold, who are playing as the Moonshine Commander. Honestly, the Moonshine Commander buff with this last balance patch is pretty big. I didn't think it was going to be that big. I was like, oh, it's only like 15% power to plasmas. It's not that big. It's big. Mostly, I think, because plasmas are the meta now due to balance changes.
Yeah, it has been a good catalyst for this.
Yes. It's more of a, I think, a double down effect as opposed to it being actually powerful. That said, it is actually powerful. It does hit a couple breakpoints. But I think it's more of a... The meta has changed, which has resulted in the sudden pick as opposed to any real major impact to the commander balance.
I think it encouraged more players to commit, and committing to any strategies makes it more effective.
Yes, yes. That's one of the reasons why I talk so much about, these all-in tactics as such. It's like, if you're going to... Forts is a game where you can absolutely eliminate a player by hitting them hard enough. And if you blindside them, or hit them with something for which they're unprepared, you can eliminate them, or put them in a death spiral without giving them a real opportunity to react properly. So something like, here's 6 mortars at the 5-minute mark. Hit is so much more effective than 4 mortars at the 5-minute mark that it's a massive difference in strategy, effectively. So I do think that's a significant part of why. That's exactly what you're saying. It's a significant part of it, because players are going and saying, "Hey, we're doubling down on this. We've got an extra 15% power on lasers, and lasers are now more relatively effective." Honestly, lasers didn't get a buff, which is cannon nerf that did it. So now we're just doubling down on lasers, and the lasers are 15% more powerful. Suddenly, they're dominating in a way that is meta-defining. Should I say meta-redefining? It's not even that big of a change, but it completely changes the outcome here.
There's also a little bit of complacency where players kind of get used to calculating, I need exactly this many layers of wood or metal to stop something. And you saw that with Warthog, and people just constantly getting eliminated on the first shot with the active.
And it's like, oh yeah, I'm
suddenly
safe.
a cannon does 2 doors instead of 1.8.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm safe. I only need 1 door and I only need 1 piece of metal and 1 piece of wood. Nope. Not enough. So what I'm looking for here regarding this match are differences or oddities to the strategies, and I'm really not seeing any. For Team Gold, we see a mixed variety of cannons and lasers. Pretty par for the course for any strategy, really. Okay, oddity has happened. The second laser placed by Julian is not a fire beam, it's a magna beam. I did not see that one coming, but given that Nils is going with multiple cannons, standard cannons, I'm into it. It is worth noting that Clow does not have fire beam, plasma beam. It's just multiple fire beams. And Julian was unprepared to take a fire beam, plasma beam combo basically anywhere, so he's rapidly adding to his defenses because he needs to. On Rose's side, Debensine and Clow are going with what I would describe as a somewhat more standard flavor, because there is no magna beam. It's just fire beam and plasma beam and cannon. This is usually what I would expect. You know, one player goes lasers, one player goes cannons. You just have mixed damage types, and you just blast your opponents out of the game. But at this point, Team Gold's, they're getting themselves up with the magna beam, and it's honestly, I think Gold's it's going to be hard to pull off, but if they pull it off, way more effective. Please wait until you have both cannons. Please wait until you have both cannons. They didn't wait until they had both cannons. No real damage done with that, actually. Cloud takes a little bit of splashing on his core, and that's it. But that will reveal
But now
the
they are
unusual.
aware.
Yes, and here's the thing. There's two elements to this. One, you can fully defend against this kind of Magna shenanigan. Both of these players are very familiar with how to do that, so they may not fully defend against it for this next upcoming volley, but sooner or later they will defend against it, and then it won't do any real damage. And then I'll have to go back to doing front-facing. Yeah, like Cloud didn't defend against it this time, and it cost him a plasma beam. It sucks, but he's gonna have it defended very shortly here, and then he won't have to worry about that anymore. Now, it's still damaging, because a lot of these forts are very well optimized, and they don't have the extra leeway, the extra space to defend the top of their fort, because they're put all of their weight distribution into the front of their fort. So having to put extra weight, extra defenses up here does genuinely impact their ability to, well, defend themselves in a very real and very effective way. This is one of the major benefits talked about when doing tier 3 cannons. Just the requirement of defending the extra side of your fort dramatically reduces the player's ability to defend themselves generally. So having standard cannons that can shoot both directly and above is very powerful. So now we're to the tops of the forts are mostly defended. I say mostly because there are a couple spots which could still be penned. But for the most part, these players aren't too worried about taking critical damage from the Magna Beam. So going directly to the front of the fort's just kind of the way to go. Realistically, Team Gold, because they revealed without getting damage done, they're not going to get damage done for some time. So they just kind of just sit there on the Magna Beam and don't do anything with it until Team Row forgets it exists. And instead, they just go straight to the front. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing cannons go straight to the front, where that front is now compromised by virtue of having to spend some of that weight on top defenses. And they could just kind of get punchy. Use the cannons, punch through things. Julian is struggling here. Honestly, Clow with his fire beam, plasma beam is handling Julian quite firmly.
He's very menacing, yeah. This bottom plasma has been barely surviving for the past 5 minutes at this point.
Yes, it's been under constant repair, which is a very expensive repair bill, by the way.
Around 170 metal per sniper shot.
Yes. I mean, look at that.
Good
So,
attempt.
a good attempt, but I mean that's a full defense.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't penetrate.
And it's not going to get thinner anytime soon.
Yeah. So there's no benefit to using the Magna Beam as opposed to just slapping the front of the fort, which means that they can save on energy and stress just by using the cannons in their standard slap in the face formation. And as long as they keep that Magna Beam as a threat, then Team Row will have to respect it. And that respect is, it's a real impact. Like, it is expensive to respect it. And here we see Derbensine, I think, is going to do a little bit more respect here. Or is he not? So right now, Derbensine is vulnerable to the Magna shenanigans. He's not respecting it. And Team Gold should take advantage of that. Clow is respecting it. The triple cannons is honestly a lot to deal with. It hits the core, splashes the core, doesn't hit the core. Splashes the core, and Clow thickens the cannon defense which I think is still not thick enough, to be honest. But
Yeah, he needs a couple more
there it
metal
goes.
like this. Yes.
there it is. Okay, now it's thick enough.
With his howitzer is very, very strong.
Yeah, at this point, Derbenzine has become an unignorable problem. Cloud gets door sniped. Julian with the plasma finally takes vengeance. Actually deforms Cloud's base in a meaningful and very impactful way. I like the anti-howitzer defense, via cannon fire. Another door snipe. Cloud takes even more deforming and loses a fire beam. Cloud is on the cusp of structural failure. It's looking pretty rough, actually. Alright, I would love to see Julian and Nils use that Magna combo to hit. Oh, they are gonna do it. They're aiming up with that. Derbenzine's in danger. If they pull this off. Oh, but Nils takes a hit, loses a cannon. He's gonna have to repair that real quick. All right, do it. I know you saw it. Are you changing targets again?
Mistimed.
Mistimed, unfortunate. But they changed targets down to Cloud.
I think the benzene shot is really hard to do at this point. I mean, it depends where you're thinking of. If you're thinking like before the second cannon, I think it's a bit too tight.
It might be. I think what might have happened is they were saying that they were talking to each other, saying, "Hey, we need to hit benzene up there," and then Julian was pre-aiming, and then Nils noticed that his cannons don't have an angle to hit high enough. Another door snipe. Cloud is getting door sniped left and right. Left, right, and center, I should say. I think that's what it is. I think Nils just doesn't have the cannon round angle, to hit Derbenzine's base. I think one of his cannons has the angle, but not all three. And so they're just not going
I
for the
think
shot.
they can definitely all shoot above the first cannon, but not above the howitzer.
Yes, and they would need to shoot above the howitzer to make the Magna Beam angle work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this does not do anything.
It is just an angle issue. Okay. So unfortunate. Julian does get his Magna Beam door snipes, which is not a surprise. It's a Magna Beam.
Decent door snipe. Almost hits the second one as well.
Julian out of money for repairs. Another heavy hit. And that's it.
Very heavy, yeah.
Julian can't take it. Too much damage dealt, too much damage received. And Team Gold loses the player. Clow finally getting vengeance for what Julian had been doing to him the whole round. Just off the back of way too many plasmas, is able to penetrate through. Now, here's the thing. Derbenzine has 4 standard cannons and a howitzer. Nils exists and therefore doesn't have enough eco to defend against it. Successfully
Especially with the
defeats
added
the
plasmas.
howitzer. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, it's just, that's too much firepower. Just penning through the armor, wiping it out, taking out 2 of Nils' cannons. I think his only real hope here is door sniping that lowermost cannon for Derbenzine, and that cannon just fired, so he's gonna have to go through a whole new round of tanking before getting an opportunity to even door snipe again, and I suspect that's not going to be the case. He's not going to survive this, methinks. Alright, Nils, this is your opportunity to door snipe. And he misses it. He is officially out of money for repairs. Manages to defend against the howitzer again. But away go his mines. And clean through the doors. Nils has no more weapons. He cannot fire back. At least until his plasma completes, which he has now done, so he can attempt a door snipe. Will it be enough? He has the energy for it, so all he needs to do is find the time. It's worth noting that his opponent didn't know about it. You can tell because they shot it. And down he goes. In a glorious rate of cannon fire, Team Row wins round 2 in this best of 7. I appreciate Team Gold going for the Magna Beam. It actually worked out for them decently well. Like, it actually worked really well.
Lasers might be meta, but you know, 4 cannons is still a pretty good strategy, and they're both going for it, but Benson got there.
Yeah, I mean, cannons are just like the end-all, be-all of attritional warfare. They are the things that actually end the game. Lasers are great at picking away at forts, they're great at dismantling forts, or should I say, disarming forts. But cannons are the undisputed kings of damage. That hasn't changed.
A scalpel versus a sledgehammer.
Yes. Well played. As we get ready for round 3 here in this best of 7. And we got a couple of questions from chat. We have a question. Is there any reason saw blades aren't used more often? You understand metal cancels them out, but at the very least, it should force your opponent into using metal earlier. So yes, 2 reasons. 1, they require tech. They require specifically the workshop tech, which is a tier 1 tech which makes it easy to obtain, but also not particularly interesting to keep around. Let's say you're playing for heavy weapons because buzzsaws don't end the game. You need an actual game-winning strategy. Many times players will sell off their tier 1 tech, so they just don't have access to the tier 1 stuff, things like buzzsaws. Additionally, buzzsaws are expensive, both in metal and energy. They cost 200 metal, which is far more metal than you tend to destroy on your opponent.
They have limited uses.
Yes, that's part of it. They also have limited uses, which means not only is it 200 metal, but it's 200 metal per buzzsaw. So that adds up a lot. Like, it's not just I get buzzsaw and force your opponent to spend money. You're spending that same amount of money yourself, guaranteed. So you have to do a ridiculous amount of damage to the buzzsaw in order to make it go break even. What's more is that buzzsaws are expensive to fire. They cost just about as much as a fire beam. It's like 2,000 per volley, which, you know, energy isn't that hard to come by, but especially when you're in the early game, that is a lot of energy. You can't afford that kind of energy in the early game. Like, that's half of a tech worth of energy right there. So you do see them, but they aren't prolific, just because they're kind of expensive to do. Well, you saw earlier in this matchup where we saw a buzzsaw destroy multiple turbines. Like, that's the kind of damage you need to do with the buzzsaw to make it worthwhile. Like, you do see it, it's just not omnipresent because of that. They are, as you say, balanced.
Players
As
really
the
want to
sniping
guarantee they'll get a
continues.
return on that investment.
Yeah. That's just hard to guarantee. Really hard to guarantee. I am surprised that we haven't had any sniper deaths. I knew it. I knew I just had to say something. So with the amount of sniping happening. We have another question from chat. Why players tend to avoid using ropes to support their top-heavy forts or suspend their fortifications on other maps? Price is the reason for that, for the most part. Ropes require foundation nodes in order to connect to the terrain in outside of the fort, and foundation nodes are expensive. So usually you'll see players try to avoid foundation nodes as much as possible. Look at any of these bases, for example. Like, if you take a look at Derbensine's top base here, he has sold off foundation nodes and replaced them with literally nothing. And this is just to avoid connecting to the terrain. Using
It
ropes.
also reduces some front lead, which is always cool.
Yeah. Using ropes would re-incur that cost. So players will attempt to avoid using ropes when they could use the more structurally sound standard bracing instead, and connect to as few places as possible. You'll see it every so often, but it isn't the standard. It's I'm doing this because I absolutely need to grow my fort beyond my current status, beyond its current size, and I can't do that without compromising the safety of the fort.
You know what would be super funny?
Mm-hmm.
If a shotgun door snipes this AP sniper and damages the core afterwards.
That would be hilarious. Also, it's an AP sniper, so shotguns are not safe. As you can
Case
tell.
in point.
Yep. I was gonna say, he knows that other shotgun is
For
there.
true.
Rip Julian. Well, good news is, Julian not making the mistake of building his shotguns too late. Bad news is, he didn't defend them and he lost them. Rip.
Ooh.
That was funny. It's also worth noting that ropes always add deformation because ropes aren't rigid. They bounce around a lot and they stretch. So anytime you use ropes, you won't have any straight or rigid fort, which is its own downside. It's an upside and a downside, but it's mostly downside. So it's just worth noting. But let's take a look at Cloud's base here. You could use ropes to help support this turbine block, and if it gets big enough, it might happen. But realistically, he doesn't need it. It's fine. It's not blinking. It's not close to blinking. He can add a lot more there and it's not going to collapse. So why bother with ropes when you just don't need to? But you know, he could. It could happen. I believe I didn't mention it, but we have Architect versus Armadillo. So I am expecting some truly late game plays here. It's why I was going off at a tangent. On multiple tangents, because we had time. Gold is as the Architect commander, so they're going upgraded mines first, and then eventually heavy weapons. Whereas Team Row is Armadillo, so they are also going upgraded eco first, followed by eventually heavy weapons. It's past Canada clock, and no one has a fully constructed heavy weapon yet, although they are in progress. The most notable elements are that we have one player from each team going cannons and one player from each team going laser beams. The biggest discrepancy between them is that Nils has placed their howitzer first, whereas Clow has not placed a howitzer at all and is instead going standard cannons. Although he did he did a howitzer build and then didn't place a howitzer, just placed a cannon instead. So a little confused by that, but you know what? Whatever. This is not a big deal. It's convenience. Extra metal storage makes for less metal floating. I can get behind that. I'm actually partial to that a lot. I do that myself, but mostly because I'm washed and it's convenient to not have to float metal when building cannons. It is a little surprising and somewhat interesting to see Julian and Derbensian's bases, because they are almost perfect mirrors of each other right now. Like, it is like looking in a mirror. They are the same. EMP. Oh my god, the EMP makes it across. That's funny. Doesn't actually do anything beyond mildly delay their opponents. It's under the psychological damage. Oh, I like that. I didn't see that coming. But that softened up Julian's defense, is letting Derbensian penetrate through. Julian loses the plasma for it. Well played. Oh, the door snipe begins. Guys. Gold, you gotta... Team Row, you gotta let your opponents have weapons. You're winning 2-0 already. The door snipes. Well, Nils immediately replaces it with a howitzer, so I guess it's not that big of a loss, but... Oh... That's, it's painful to see the door sniping happening already. I like the Magna Beam plays. I do. I like them a lot. I have a suspicion that Team Gold is not well practiced with them, or at least dislikes doubling down on them, which I think is a mistake. I think if you're gonna go with the Magna Beam play, like with the mortars, you need to double down on it. You shouldn't reveal with one cannon. Slap him with 2 or 3 when you hit him with the Magna Beam. I don't know, you were going Fire Beam, Plasma Beam first, stay on that until your teammate has triple cannon, and then just Magna Beam. Oh, beautiful. The cannons from below. Breaking open Julian again. I like Cloud's positioning here. His cannon placement is such that it can aim directly forward when it needs to, but he's just using his cannons mostly to slam. Oh, that's death, isn't it? Yep.
Yeah, it is.
That's a lot of damage. Double howitzer. Julian's selling the Magna Beam. Now is not the time to sell the Magna Beam. Now is the time to build the Magna Beam. Okay. It's fine. Oh dear. There's no Magna Beam to help you with that cannon angle. It's fine. I'm only a little bit hurt. Honestly, Julian seems a little bit unprepared for taking hits in that corner. His fort's a bit stressed. There's a very real chance here that Derbensian rips Julian off his foundations and drops it on the nails for the total victory. Kind of surprised to see the howitzers are completely sold off for nails. At least one of them should have been able to fire up, but... I mean, if you wanted to go rockets, I do like the rocket strat. At this stage, you can just go rockets and pressure your opponent out of the game with them. It's a 2v1, you should be able to win map control pretty easily, or at least consistently. And then rockets are a game-ending threat.
Juicy.
Very juicy shotgun. And it will pay for its effectiveness with its life. But it was very effective. But now the rockets are going to land consistently, and Derbensian cannot survive that. Rockets deal more damage than even plasma beams. Not more damage than the 20 mils. Or the cannons. Maybe the cannon. It's actually kind of close. Rockets just kind of deal a lot of damage. Raw damage. Flat. Splash everywhere. Massive repair bill. As Derbensian burns, losing weaponry in the process. I believe Julian is now functionally safe from Derbensian. especially because Debenzin just lost his final weapon, leaving no ability to retaliate. And
He only has a
armor
shotgun behind his
penetrated.
core, and we all know
Yes.
how that goes.
Oh my god. We released that video, was it 2 days ago now? I wasn't expecting that. What makes it even better is it was
I don't think he
Debenzin.
did either.
He should have done it just for the callback joke. He's like, nope. And actually, I don't think he can do it from that angle. It's too close. It won't.
Yeah. Now he has. Oh no, he's doing it. I think he's doing it on purpose.
He has a
Please
goal.
do it.
Survive.
Please do.
I think he's going to. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it now. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Thank you, Benson.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. That's going out in style. Yeah. That, I think, is the most appropriate ending to this round, as Team Gold wins it, bringing them up 1 point and getting closer to even these odds. Alrighty then. We are ready to go to the next round, as we're off to round 4 in this best of 7. The score is 1-2 as we jump into the action.
Yeah, I
Oh
expected as
my.
much.
It's a mirror match, as
Always
Team
on
Row
booties.
and Team Gold are both playing as the Moonshine Commander. Well, we're going to have a minute here. We might have some sniper duel action, but both of these commanders go for endgame kind of stuff. The question will be, will it be lasers or cannons, or both? I suspect both. Both is a good strategy. I like both. One for each, especially on this map.
Both. Both is good.
Both is good. I like both. Which means we have a moment to banter with chat. We have another question. What's the strategy behind the leaning forts? It seems to be pretty intentional, but I feel like it would stress the bottom nodes more than anything. It does stress the bottom nodes, but more importantly, it changes which bottom nodes are stressed. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of leaning forts here this time. We still could. But the purpose of the leaning fort is that it causes all the weight from up here, namely the core, turbines and such, to shift from these front 3 nodes, or should I say, it's most of the front 2 nodes. It shifts it away from the front 2 nodes towards the back 2 nodes here. Which means, yes, it is additional, sorry, I zoomed in at the wrong time, it didn't show. Thank you. It takes all this weight up here from all this material, and shifts it from these front 2 nodes here to these back 2 nodes here. As you're going to see, he's leaning the fort. This means that these front 2 nodes have less weight on them, and can therefore support more weight, while the rest of the fort suffers more weight, which is fine because they're not that stressed anyways. Because, you know, what are they holding up? They're holding up a tech? A turbine? They're not holding up the absolute girth that is the ginormous block of wood which is going to be in front of the fort here. So that is relevant. That is your explanation for why the lean is so strong and so popular.
I think another good explanation is that the way that struts break is based on their length relative to when they were built. If it starts at 100%, it will break at 90% completion. And that means that if you stretch it like to 105 or 110%, it will have 20% of additional stress resistance instead of 10%. So you can do twice as much with spam.
Yes, and that is a fundamental component of the stability tech, where that is the reason why we see these super long braces instead of the tiny short ones, and why the tiny short braces get overlapped with the internal struts that are 4 longs or extra length to hold more. But that is just some extra explanation as to stability in general. Not really super relevant to the leaning specifically. The leaning is exclusively to shift weights, whereas the extra long braces helps deal with compression and weight in general. Both necessary for the forts to sustain the amount of weight and armor that they wield, but slightly different facets. Nuances of defense.
That work together, yes.
Yes.
After the first player got hit with a double howitzer and just started putting giant walls of wood in front of their base, they had to figure out how do I get it, you know, to stop leaning so far forward.
Yes. That was that actually summed it up pretty nicely. It's we've developed the technology to get enough weaponry on the board that defenses required fundamental changes in order to survive.
Towards evolution.
Yes.
Survival of the fittest.
It's kind of like putting bags of sand on your rear tires, or over your rear tires.
Yes.
That makes sense, actually, yeah.
So, unsurprising, we see Upgrade Center for everyone. A heavy investment into eco before anything else. We don't have any major developments into heavy weapons. It's one. Oh, the second plasma's just gone down for Julian. So that counts as major. And Mr. Benzine also got a second plasma. Okay. The biggest interest, the most interesting comment I have here is that Team Gold is going double laser. Both players have placed the factory, and so we're going to see laser weaponry for both of them. So no Magna Beam this time, because no cannon to synergize with it. But Team Row on the left-hand side is mixing cannons with lasers, which I'd like to see, especially given that Clow is going for howitzers in the howitzer position, which is... well, he hasn't placed one yet, but he's going to place it there. All the way down here.
In 2 seconds.
Presumably...
Oh, never mind. He first did a cannon.
A cannon? Why are you like
He's
this?
unexpected. You had the storage to do the howitzer, and...
And he built the howitzer grid. He already built the spot. He built a home for it. He went out... Why are you like this? It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just confusing to me.
Maybe misdirection?
Nah, yeah, I suppose.
I don't...
I mean, anyway, cannon weaponry is good against Moonshine, so he's good either way.
Like, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just... Why are you like this?
Very unexpected for sure. But I mean, maybe their opponents will also find it confusing.
I'm gonna be honest. If my opponent was going for a howitzer build and decided to place a cannon first instead, I'd be happy about that. That doesn't feel like that feels Like they're doing
Plus,
something.
they don't even have shotguns
easier,
ready,
man.
so they're not
Yeah.
really being misdirected.
Yeah,
What's
if
this
it works, it
plasma
works.
placement from Benzene?
I didn't. Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that there, but I was even more surprised when it got hit. All right, Cloud, where's your second weapon going?
He is spending metal, and he should have enough for.
You can do
Please.
it. I
Thank
believe
you.
on you. Yes. Okay. I do believe that Team Gold is at a disadvantage because they've gone so heavy into laser on this map in particular.
Against Moonshine.
Yes. So I believe that Team Row will have some strategic advantage here. Of course, that could all go up in smoke at any point because all you have to do is land a door snipe and that changes things dramatically.
Oh wow,
Tiniest
Benzene with a
laser doors.
tiny shield.
Yeah. You know what? I approve. I approve a lot.
Stop shooting yourself.
EMP shutting down the laser doors.
Ooh, it's still exposed? There we go.
Der Benzine's rear plasma detonated to plasma fire, which is still a surprise to me, but you know what? It works, it works.
Because of that cannon, you know, gold has to have actual doors in front of their weapons, and Row is just kind of getting away with a single shield.
Yes. Which is why I was saying that I credit Row with being at an advantage here. Just the existence of the cannons makes if the mixed damage type really, makes Gold have to defend so much more. You could see the difference. It's a very good point out. It's something I should have pointed out actually. You notice the defense here? How much armor is in front? Because that's the only way to defend against cannons. You just have to have raw armor. Whereas on the other side, look, tiny little energy shield doors. Super cheap, super easy. Sir Benzene can reliably do anything he wants with the rest of his money, and he's fine. Things like get more weapons. Whereas Nils and Gold generally, they just get bashed and have to spend money fixing it. Devastating. The 20 mil is just punching through, breaking weapons.
That was so beautiful. You EMP, you don't get the door snipe, but the door is stuck open, or in this case, shields, and then it's just, you know, sitting duck.
Yep. Very effective. Moonshine was known for mass cannon play prior to the patch, prior to the laser patch, just because of the EMP spread. It's so very effective. I'm firmly convinced that Moonshine didn't need a buff to the lasers at all. But here we are. Oh, door snipe. God, the EMP. With the EMP going through. A heavy hit. Nils catches his fort on the way down. I don't think it would have caused a collapse, but it'd be rough.
Shoutouts to the moonshine cannons disabling all those shields.
Yes. Oh my god. He's playing it like an AI. He's just sitting there spamming sandbags in the middle of an active plasma beam, just absorbing the damage as best he can.
And it's working.
It is. Hey, there it is. Nils finally brings his cannon online, and immediately Derbenzin is punished. Derbenzin completely blindsided by the single cannon, breaking open all of his defenses, loses 2 plasmas, like 3 turbines, and how is that? 3 mines? Off the back of a single cannon blasting open his defenses? Yeah, that's rough.
And immediately every single weapon that Team Row has pointed straight at him.
Yes. Well, they know what the threat is.
We have to fire at that man.
Yes. And it's honestly, it's more than worth it. Like it is the real threat on the team right now. That one cannon. And to be clear, Nils just sold off his cannon tech. Nils cannot develop another cannon. If he loses that, it's gone forever. Or at least until he rebuilds his tech. But it exists, and while it exists, it will be an existential threat. Second howitzer, Clow. Do it now. Alright, so now Derbenzin is going to have to be forced to build actual armor on his weaponry. We see it here being constructed as Klaus sends the howitzer, but doesn't have any follow-up here. We see these are big doors too, like those are painful doors. That's suffering right there. And then second howitzer. And then second howitzer. Oh, it wasn't ready to fire yet, my bad. Alright, Clow, I believe in you. You can get multiple howitzers flying at the same time. I have trust. I've seen you do it before. Alright, he's ready for it. And firing. 1 and 2. And 2. Okay, there it is. Any follow-up? No. Oh, that was close. More shotgun online.
And those shotguns, you can see the placement. It's so awkward because you have to worry about a cannon EMP disabling them at a distance.
Yes. Laser shot from on high does a lot of damage to Cloud's eco. Turbine's getting blasted. There it is. That's a lot of good damage. Howitzer into howitzer. Laser follow-up. Breaks, and it all comes crumbling down.
Epic.
Nils falls. Derbenzin takes a hit from a plasma in exchange, but that is a trade he's willing to take all day. And now the back and forth continues. Oh!
Wow.
Massive damage. Cloud barely hanging on after that one. Just his weapon platform disintegrates. Well, Julian, great work with that laser shot. Has plenty of laser beams still in his arsenal. So he's very in this game if that last shot didn't make it obvious. He is, however, mostly reliant on door snipes to get damage done, which makes things difficult for him. I know Julian's quite capable of door sniping, the question is will he manage it? A coalescence of laser fire breaks through Julian's armor, taking out one of his plasmas, which is unfortunate for him because it brings him down to 4. It's actually kind of convenient. Another door snipe.
Down to 3, down to 2.
Julian getting picked apart. One door snipe, and then one focus fire. One dies to armor penetration, the other dies to direct exposure. Oh, another door snipe. Derbenzine loses one. This time Julian's turn to fire back. But it didn't hit any real critical internals. That wasn't a position which was integral to Derbenzine's survival.
Down to
Julian
1.
just doesn't have the armor or the ability to afford armor. Sufficient armor, I should say, to keep his plasmas alive. Which means he is just getting picked apart. He's losing the war by attrition. Which is kind of the expected outcome here. Here come the cannons. I like how there's only been ever like one cannon per side, and that one cannon has been the most influential thing in the game for both sides. Derbenzine is just sitting there waiting for Julian to fire his laser, and then just destroys it. Well, Julian is down to 0 active weapons. He's got a howitzer under construction, but Team Row knows about it, and they'd really rather it didn't. Ooh. Here comes death. One cannon shell at a time. I should have said one laser beam at a time. It's like watching something getting slowly melted. Just shaved down shot by shot. You ever seen one of those like ablative laser pulse lasers just like shredding, I don't know, bits of metal off of
Yes.
plate? That's what this is like.
Now we need a time lapse of this. I'm terrified that Benzin does actually have the storage to fire all these plasmas at once.
I know. He's at 19k energy storage over here. So he could just kind of mass burn. Oh, speaking of ropes, we finally see ropes being added in. It took a while, but there's your example of ropes being added into a later game
Tactical
for.
rope.
They are used eventually. It just, you know, it takes a while to get to the point where they're desired. As there he goes. Team Row wins match 4, taking them up to 3-1 in this best of 7. Yes. That damage, man. Now that is a good slow-mo cam. Well played. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready for round 5 here in this best of 7, where Team Row 1 is on match points. If they win this round, they will go on to take first place in the totality in the final here in Forts Pro League Season 6. Team Gold is currently fighting for them for first place here, trying to claim a victory for themselves and see if they can't knock Row 1 down to second place. The match is made. The players are ready. We're jumping into round 5, starting now. And we are off to round 5. Team Gold versus Team Row. As here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Gold playing as Armadillo. Facing off against their opponents on the right-hand side, in the red, it is Team Row. Team Gold needs to win this one, or they get knocked down to second place in the Forts Pro League final. And Team Row is looking for victory. If they defeat their opponents, if they nuke them out of the game, then they will claim first place with that sweet first place prize. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a bit about the prizes here for the Forts Pro League finals?
So as we mentioned earlier, the bronze is worth $100 to be divided amongst the teammates and awarded in the form of Steam gift cards to avoid a whole lot of other complications. Second place is worth $250 and also an increase from last year. And first place will be $500.
And there you have it. Real money on the board. Love to see it as the snipers for everyone. Oh, first blood. Julian loses his sniper, or at least one of them. Beautifully done. As Derbensine's turbine, it's like an AI match all over again. Just the snipers, they want the turbines. So this is, I assume, going to progress as it has for every team in the Forts Pro League, which has gone with Seep so far. I guess except it's technically not true. There's one team that will go up more standard play, but I'm expecting to see portal nukes from Clow on top and lasers from Debentian on bottom. On left-hand side, Gold is going to be going with Armadillo tactics, which means early mine upgrades into late-game weapons of whatever flavor they want, which I assume will be lasers followed by portal nukes eventually. Biggest question will be if Nils... No, Nils is also going lasers. So it will be mass lasers from Team Gold, and then probably eventually portal nukes from Julian. Whereas Clow is going straight to portal nukes, and Derbensian is going lasers. Kind of surprised Derbensian hasn't upgraded his mine, so there it is. There's the mine timing. We have a question from chat. One thing I've been wondering with how often I see entire bases collapsing since the front support is taken out, wouldn't it be possible, and better, to have the forward defense sort of semi-detached from the main base, especially with bases like these where you have separate forward build spots? The answer to that question is no, but it has been considered. We call them breakaway points, where the fort wind damage will break away and separate at very specific parts, as opposed to dragging the whole place apart. You'll see this more often on larger maps, especially community maps like battleships, for example. But on maps like this, they're just a little bit too tight, a little bit too small, a little bit too entangled, where if you build a breakaway point, you lose enough structural integrity that you're going to die anyways, just from taking standard hits. So, generally speaking, you don't see breakaway points. It's not impossible, it's just not as efficient as building your fort as one giant single point of failure and hoping that it never breaks in the first place.
There are a few maps where it's kind of feasible, like Wingman, and you'll note that Wingman is almost always banned.
Yes. There are a couple maps, especially larger maps or maps that it can get particularly long in the building, where you'll get breakaway points that are kind of sort of worth building in, but you generally don't see those in the vanilla maps a lot. If you go into the community maps or modded maps that get larger, you see that kind of stuff regularly. It's just, on these maps in particular, even though it is a point of failure that is a weakness, the cost of fixing the weakness is greater than the cost of suffering the existence of the weakness.
They're just kind of too valuable not to use.
Yeah. So, that is the answer to your question for that. Unsurprisingly, this match is progressing exactly as I have described. Multiple laser beams for Team Gold going up for each player. On the right side, Team Ro is going... there's the plasma. I was like, is there not going to be a plasma mixed in? No, he's going double fire beam into plasma. Focusing on the fire beam so that Cloud's missiles can have some defense for the moment they're launched, the first launch. We also see Team Gold investing pretty heavily in anti-air, which is expected. First laser fire from Julian. I appreciate that he didn't even bother putting it a door first. He just fired it. Just like, ha! I see you. And then he covers it up with a hard wall and then doors it. First missile launch. It lands.
Minor damage.
Yeah, it's just exterior damage, nothing critical. It's it's gonna be a nasty repair bill, but nothing that's
it should be fine.
impactful. Yeah, they activated the commander ability for it as well, so that'll be super cheap. Armadillo. Just able to repair for practically free. I'll be honest, I saw Nil's fire beam positioning, I was like, Concentratinator? No. It's just stair-stepped.
Just cool French foot spam in front of the laser.
Yeah. That machine gunner, a small price to pay for laser damage. Oh.
This is way too close.
That was a very close shave indeed. Dimension down to 58%. Does not want that to happen again. Here comes a missile launch. Chain fire. Oh no!
What happened there?
Not like this. I've never seen that specific thing happen again. So okay, for those who are unfamiliar, SEEP nukes, when they explode, when they are destroyed for any reason, will burst into swarm missiles. That means even if you don't have swarm missiles covering your nukes, the nuke becomes a swarm missile to cover for other nukes. What happened there is that Julian used his laser beam to destroy one of Cloud's nukes as it came out of the launch tube, causing it to break into swarm missiles, which then scattered everywhere, specifically coalescing into Cloud's core, annihilating it from the inside. You hate to see it. That's not true. You love to see it.
Well,
That's exactly what we're here for.
if you remember, Ro did this to one of their opponents, or it didn't burst into swarms, but it went directly into his teammate's core.
Yeah.
Yes. That was wild. For those who missed that, that was in the semifinals, I believe.
Yes.
Would have
Yeah.
been last
Week.
That was another instance of what just happened here. Portal nukes. Fun for everyone. As your Benzine now is no real damage output, as you focus mostly on fire beams, is taking hefty laser fire. Good God, we're gonna need a slow-mo replay of that one. Like an actual slow-mo replay of that one. You know the worst part about it? He even chain-fired his nukes to mitigate against that. One of the nukes made it out intact, made it across the map. The other one was a dirty, filthy traitor. Oh, another hefty hit. Their benzene down to 19%. You can't keep doing this. I mean, he can. He's already gone with the artistic route to success. He knows. He understands his fate. Actually, kind of surprised he didn't die there. That door snipe is brutal. No more doors in front of that plasma. What do? I mean, I usually say you never count out a player as long as he's got a plasma. I think this is one of those times where I can pretty safely say that it's unlikely for him to get any damage done to that plasma. Nope, here comes a crumble.
I will have big troubles finding who to assign this kill.
Yes. Yes, you will. As Gold
Dang.
wins round 5, bringing the scores that much closer to even. I need to see that slow-mo replay of that kill. That was... That portal swarm nuke. That is insane.
They're still down 2-3, but that's gotta feel good. Like it, brings them back in a little bit.
Yes. As we're going to be
Just
going on to
checked.
round 6.
It is definitely Niels. GG Niels.
Good lord. Here it comes.
Very juicy finals so far.
Very. Poor Benson. Oh no, we missed the nuke. Okay. We will have to get that one for later. That was definitely going in a clip for later. All right then, for now we will have to move on to the next round. As we'll be moving on to round 6 in this best of 7. It's been a good series. Speaking of Wingman, we're moving on to Wingman. All right. The players are ready. The match is made. We're moving on to round 6 right now.
These ought to be interesting.
Yes. Let's see what we got. Now, this is one of the rounds where I would reasonably expect Phantom to show up.
To be fair, I have been informed by Taichu that I think Gold was supposed to do Phantom on Snow Leopards, but they went for the safe option.
Okay, because I was thinking it was either going to be like round 4 or like round 6 where I would see Phantom. Look at that. It just doubles back. 3 swarms just double back, wrap around, and just slap it. That's wild. I did not see that one coming. Not even a little bit. No Phantom play. It's Armadillo versus Overdrive. No, we actually haven't seen Overdrive picked this
Yeah, I
series
was surprised as well.
All right, well, here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Row on match point, looking to claim first place in the Forts Pro League Finals here in Season 6, where they're facing off against their opponent, Team Gold, who defeated them in most spectacular fashion last round. Team Gold has 2 points and needs to win this one to keep this going and bring it off to the decider. Hmm. This sniping begins. Okay. I'm taking a look at these to see if we can expect any craziness here from this. Julian going with the early third turbine. It might throw off their opponents into thinking that they're pinch fists. But otherwise, build orders are going about as normal as you'd expect. Both of these commanders are late game commanders, or at least, I guess Overdrive isn't really a late game commander, but the meta is to go late game, and Overdrive fits the meta very well. So I do expect nothing cheeky or cheesy out of Team Gold here. I expect we'll just be going late with upgrades and heavy weapons eventually, and big old slog. You know, I really am surprised people are picking Armadillo as much as they're picking. I think it's mostly because Armadillo makes you feel safe rather than actually are safe. Because, like, Armadillo doesn't have a positive win ratio. It's one of the lower win ratio commanders, right?
Let me check for that right now. Yeah, 43%.
Yeah. It's one of the lower win ratio commanders, but it's picked almost the most.
It is picked quite often, yes. It is
Which makes me think that
second
there's...
most picked. Wow. Just after
Yes.
Spook.
Yes. Which makes me think that it is just less powerful than people think it is. I think it's just because it makes you feel safe. The extra armor means you can tank more things. The lightweight armor means you can build more armor. Like, it's just makes you feel safe, but doesn't actually make you safe. Whereas something like Overdrive has a positive win rate.
Not even.
Not even?
It is even lower than Armadillo's, actually. Yeah, by 1.5%.
Apparently I'm
That's
wrong.
crazy.
Apparently I'm wrong then. Okay. Really? Overdrive?
Yeah, Overdrive is at 41.6% right now. It is crazy. We're looking at a matchup where both commanders are below par.
Something feels wrong there. There's no way Overdrive has a... Okay. I mean, I can't argue with data, but something feels wrong there for Overdrive. Like, Armadillo being low win rate does not surprise me, but
I mean, you have to account for
Overdrive.
a somewhat low sample size. I mean, Architects is at
Yes.
80% win rate, and he's been played 27 times.
yes.
Armadillo has been played 55 times and Overdrive 36 times, for reference. Also, I'm counting the data from today as well. I'm
Yes.
live updating the spreadsheet.
Yes. I'm gonna say, because, like, as someone who's been watching the Forts Pro League, Armadillo losing a lot doesn't surprise me. Overdrive losing a lot does surprise me. But, like,
I mean,
Spook,
from all the games you have seen, it's
deserved.
also a smaller sample size than the original one.
yes,
so
this is true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is what it is.
Maybe we could ask Nose to reduce the sound of Overdrive's weapons by 10%.
First EMP is fired. There's about to be another EMP fired in reply. I think the EMP triggered the "it's time to kill" response.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire beam, plasma beam combo breaks through Derbensine's armor. And say it's 6.5 minutes. Violence will occur. Sniper. Alright, so which player from Team Gold will fire first? Will it be the howitzer or another fire beam plasma beam?
Seeing as this EMP is menacing the doors. Ooh, wow.
So
Good
close.
defense.
So far away.
On this short notice, it's quite hard to properly defend that with anti-air. But I guess the fast opening doors help a lot.
Yes, yes, that helps a lot.
It will also help a lot for the shotgun defense, so that's good. Yeah.
God. Devastating. This is the point where Nils wishes he was investing into standard cannons, not howitzers. Well done aiming at the top fort. Break it open for laser follow-up. Julian desperately needs additional weaponry, which he's working on. He's got them in progress.
Good door snipe.
We see some mortars from Julian. I like this. And I would like to see them upgraded before firing.
Ooh.
A brief and effective shutdown.
I like the effort of illustrating the sniper at the howitzer just in the off chance he does something.
Yeah. Yes. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for that shotgun to land. Now with the mortars here splashing across the front, we're going to see some real damage. Derbensine's going to have to step in immediately, and he is, but there's going to be another volley incoming before that anti-air comes online.
This is going to be very painful very quickly. Because Benzin's anti-air will not be able to defend the howitzers. Not at this distance. Well, they're not even
That's
trying.
exactly correct. Which means these howitzers have a solid chance of landing.
At least the bottom one.
Yes. And
But
Clow is
Benzin
suffering.
with the
Oh!
snipes.
Julian loses a plasma.
Ooh, free fire beam destroyed with an AP sniper somehow.
Clean through the armor, it would seem. Oh, it didn't have any. It just didn't have any. Okay. It was exposed.
Well, that surely helps.
Yeah, you know what? That'll do it.
Another dull snipe attempt.
Oh, massive hit.
Oh yeah, that's
That
not
does
good.
it. Cloud goes down, leaving Derbenzin all alone in a 1v2. Derbenzin does have hefty weaponry available, but not nearly enough anti-air to completely shut down Nils. And Nils got some real damage. Is he really going to try to expand all the way down there? That's brave. Yeah, that's
This
not
is
gonna
gonna be
happen.
rough.
Yes. Oh, that does it. Relatively quick as gold evens it up. Very well played. We're going on to the final round. Look at that beautiful collapse. That's what we love to see around here. And on such a beautiful map to wrap it up, Eclectic Threat.
I know you like this one.
Final. It just looks so pretty.
It is quite good, yes. And also, Peel is doing some other tournament, and he has built 30-something maps for it, just for this tournament.
Woo! That's a lot.
He has done one map per day for one whole month. It was absolutely insane.
That man needs some recognition.
Peel is also
Absolutely.
insane.
Yes, but in a good way.
If you haven't seen his
Just a good
fan-made
amount.
merchandise, it's also just amazing.
Yes.
I haven't actually. I should look at that.
Well, does anyone have any predictions? With 2 quick wins, I mean, gold certainly seems to have some momentum right now.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I am still going for row though, but yeah.
I agree. I think I lean row 1 over gold, but I mean, come on. We're getting 7 games here. This is a matchup I've been looking forward to. And this is why. We're seeing exactly why. Looking forward to it.
And on the map that they probably least wanted to play with their fourth pick commander.
Exactly.
Oh my. It begins. The final round, win, lose, or draw. Actually, I guess it was not the final, it was a draw. But win or lose, Team Row versus Team Gold. Both teams are fighting for first place. Winner takes all. The winner of this takes first place and that $500 prize. The loser gets knocked down to second place. Where here we have on the left-hand side, it is Team Row. Clow and Durbenzine are playing as the Warthog Commander, facing off against their opponents. On the right-hand side, in the red forts, it is Team Gold. Nils and Julian are playing as the Spook Commander. I don't have a strong prediction as to how this match is going to go based on the commander choice. I would imagine it would be a kind of standard build order for everyone involved, which means that there's nothing particularly eventful or extraordinary on the docket.
Looking at the stats alone, Warthog has a higher win rate, but that's it.
Yes. The sniping. You see the tier 1 tech plates for everyone, and then I suspect we're going to see an upgrade center next for everyone. There's the upgrade centers going down. Actually, we're seeing direct to heavy weapons tech for Team Row. 1 laser, 1 cannon. So we're skipping eco first, or at least delaying eco, to go for weaponry from Team Row. Oh, Buzzsaw gets some good damage done. Nice shot. You'll love to see it. Oh, there goes the sniper. Eliminated by sniper. Nils. So Nils has done something that I should mention now. We have Rocket Rush isn't the right word. but it is a rocket pressure, that's for sure.
I don't know if you have noticed. Ensign just lost a plasma to a buzzsaw.
Yeah. This is looking
this is
real
bad.
unfortunate for Team Row. Like, it's really bad. He's having to sell off his weapons. Benzine... So Team Row has no heavy weapons right now. Like, they have no out for this. Clow is just taking hits. They have AP Sniper on the core. This is one of those situations where it's like 6 mortars at the 5-minute mark. These rockets are just delayed enough to convince Team Row that it's not rockets. And nothing about this build indicates rockets. Like, there's no rocket weapon platforms. They're just kind of replacing all the armor around the core. This is a phantom play from Spook, is what this is. And it's working. It shut Cloud down, almost eliminated him, and all of that, Derbenzine behind lost a plasma to Julian in like the worst way possible. Derbenzine just got a bit too greedy and lost a critical component of his build for no real reason. It's just an unforced error. Got too greedy.
Compared to Benzin, Julian has 1 whole plasma more constructing.
Yes. Which is a
And
massive
Cloud,
lead.
compared to Nils, is like, we don't even have to speak about it.
Yes. Cloud manages to save up to get a cannon, but that is a huge, huge deficit.
They will have to fight hard to come back from this.
Yes, very hard. Nils selling off earlier game weaponry in exchange for defenses against heavy weapons and such. He tries this turbine defense, doesn't make it.
Heavy weapons are getting ready.
Fire beam, plasma beam, almost ready for Julian.
I think
Fire
we're about to see
beam, plasma
Benson go away.
Oh, he did not. Oh, not like this. He didn't build armor around his core.
And Gold activated Spook. They were watching, they were waiting for the weapons to finish building and saw immediately where to aim.
Yep. Commander ability active for Spook, revealing that Derbenzine didn't have defenses around his core, and then just punished him. Oh no. Row. Getting bullied. Starting with early game aggression. Off the back of just a couple well-timed rockets. Into a blunder from Derbenzine costing him his plasma, into another blunder, not defending his core at cannon o'clock. Julian executes him, and now Team Row is down to 1 player who is, well, barely in this game, with Team Gold scaling and as high as they want. Oh man. The only saving grace here is that Clow managed to recover Derbenzine's base. And Derbenzine's base is actually almost completely untouched. It still has all of its eco, its turbines, and its weapons. Only thing it's missing is the tech. It's not even missing its tech. It still has laser tech. Just missing an upgrade center, which is unnecessary. Oh, it actually touched the core, but didn't kill it. Oh, that's
Yep.
so rare. Oh my god. Nils. Nils did not have enough armor there. The plasma touches the core and it just burns down to 66%.
Surprise,
Like that is literally
Warthog.
like a single frame. Yeah,
that
we
is
mentioned
true.
it earlier. Warthog just throwing off the math. What is Cloud doing with the mines? He sold off to Benzine's
He
mines
sold
and
the
then
top ones and then the
rebuilt
bottom
them.
ones, and then yeah,
which is
he's
not
cosplaying as
normal.
Phantom.
Yeah. Hmm.
And now he's
Well-
deleting them again for energy, I assume.
He might be able to break Nils here if he
Yeah, just
cannons
cannon
directly to the
first.
front
With active,
and then fire beam, plasma beam. You
yeah,
can do
yeah.
it.
But no,
Alright,
he's
come on,
doing
you
this
activated.
wrong order.
No,
Oh.
panicking. Panicking
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much. And he loses both energy weapons. Oh,
This is over.
I don't see a way in which Cloud can win anymore. He actually had a reasonable chance. Like I'm pretty certain he does eliminate Nils there if
Oh
he had
yeah,
managed to.
with all the active weapons and he had the energy and
Yes.
everything, he could have, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Like if he had with the commander active, he had the energy. If he had cannon first to open, then fire beam to soften and plasma beam to penetrate, 100% would have gone straight to Nils core and eliminated him. And that would have put him in a similar position to his opponents. So close, so far away. The Rockets, they're back! He's trying for the door snap with a cannon. Just to spite. But I think this match was decided off the back of that last attempt. As Team Gold wins the finals, taking first place. Oh, that was good. That was amazing.
That was a crazy way to end this. I love it.
Absolutely.
It's one
Oh,
of the most
God.
impressive comebacks we've seen in the entire FPL.
Yes, actually. Mostly because it's actually a best of 7, giving an opportunity to come back. Still, amazing. Holy smokes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our victors. Team Gold taking first place in Season 6 of the Forts Pro League. Wow. Shout out to our competitors for performing, giving us those beautiful matches that we have loved to see. And getting themselves some good prizes in the process. It's beautiful. You know, I don't know what I expected going into this. I mean, I know what I do know what I expected. I expected good games, great matches for everyone. And that's exactly what we got. And I'm very happy about this. So I want to say thank you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the Forts Pro League. I'm looking forward to doing this again for Season 7. Do let me know. I want to see your comments in chat. What would you like to see different? What would you like to see new? What else would you like to see for the Forts Pro League? Because we have more content like this coming out every single week, multiple times a week. Make sure to check it out if you've missed the previous rounds, because there were some amazing rounds in the previous sessions, the previous videos. And I'll see you guys next time.